Yo, I'm Kevin Perry, and today I'm bringing to you guys Kenneth Sims Jr. versus Arnold Barboza. This is an exciting matchup. I'm excited for it. I think this fight has flew underneath the radar. I think the styles are going to clash up nice. I think the fight is going to be a banger. Let's see what they're talking about. Arnold Barboza has 32 wins, 1 loss. And Kenneth Sims, he's got 22 wins with 3 defeats and only 1 loss. Both of these men's resume looks pretty similar, so I'm excited to show you guys what the skill difference is looking like coming into this fight. Let's get straight into it. Starting off with Arnold Barboza Jr., I think he has a pretty decent jab. I think he has a pesky jab. I think his up jab works very nicely. I think that's the best kind of jab he has in his toolbox. And not only just his jab, when he's working behind his jab and he's building off of his shots, when I say building off of his shots, I mean when he jabs, he's looking for reactions as he jabs, and he's building off that. So he's playing combinations, building off his shots to build these combinations together, and he's got some snap on his shots at the end of his shots. So these are some things that I'm seeing for Arnold Barboza that I'm liking. And then he's got good body work too. I like the way he goes down to the body. He doesn't really neglect it. I don't think we saw it enough in the fight with Teofimo Lopez, and I think that's what he really struggled with against Teo. But when he does go down to the body, he chooses not to neglect it, and it ends up just working out for him. It brings the fight to him. It slows the fighter down. He's able to get more comfortable just landing shots, feeling them out, then bringing it upstairs, getting people to drop their hands. This is what Arnold Barboza, this is the kind of fighter he is, and this is the kind of fighter he needs to be and come into this ring on Saturday if he wants to win. And let's just talk about some of the things that I just don't like. Sometimes he overextends a little bit. He gets out of position, he gets a little too confident, or maybe he just hesitates a little bit. Like he wants to throw a shot, but he doesn't throw it. But he gets himself out of position when he hesitates and he stops. And he would have been better off just throwing the shot and missing compared to the situation he ended up putting himself in. I think sometimes his combinations can be very predictable. He just loves the same combinations. Whatever something's landing, he sticks to it. It's not a bad thing, but it cannot always be a good thing when someone is just knowing these are the shots that come in. It might land for a little bit, but if you get in there with a fighter with an IQ, he's going to be able to catch on to that, start catching shots on the gloves and giving them back. He's very front foot heavy, even when throwing straight hands. He's leaning over his front foot, and because he's leaning over his front foot, it limits his upper body movement, and not only his upper body movement, his lower body movement. And when he's leaning over his front foot, he doesn't like to move his head off the line, because he just likes walking straight in. He just likes walking in behind his pesky jab, whether it's landed or not, and then coming up with combinations like that. But when someone catches on to these combinations, like I'm saying, you'll see in these fights where they're giving them back to him, and he's not taking his head off the line. And sometimes they're even just throwing shots when he's throwing shots, and they're landing because he refuses to take his head off the line. These are the problems that I see for Arnold Barboza coming into this fight on Saturday night. Kenneth Sims, I think he has the better jab out of Arnold Barboza and Kenneth Sims. I think he has the better jab, but sometimes he's one and done with his jab. You'll see he just goes down to the body, stab jab once, then he jabs upstairs once, and he's just one and done. But Arnold Barboza, on the other hand, with his pesky jab, he'll bring it downstairs, he'll bring it upstairs, just tap you in the face with it. But I do think Kenneth Sims technically has the better jab, but I just don't like how sometimes he can be one and done with it. On top of his good jab, I like his hand speed a lot. I do. And to go along with his good hand speed is his over-the-top counters. We saw it against Oscar Duarte when he was just going over top of Oscar shots, catching and then going over top. We saw it in a couple other fights too, going and throwing in between, but mainly over top. Over-the-top counters is probably Kenneth Sims' favorite counter to throw when he's looking for that opening against a fighter. But same thing with Arnold Barboza. His head is on the line. And not only is his head on the line, we see him get cracked with a lot of left hooks and left hands, especially in the Oscar Duarte fight, just keeping his head on the line. And he was just getting cracked all night with left hands. I don't want to see this against Arnold Barboza. I don't think it will be good news for Kenneth Sims. I recommend that he takes his head off the line against Arnold Barboza and he watches out for the left hook. Kenneth Sims, he struggles to step around fighters. When he gets on the ropes, he also stays there too. He'll back straight up to the ropes because he's struggling to go left or right and get out of a fighter's traps, especially someone giving him pressure like Oscar Duarte. So when he's on the ropes, he stays there and he just guards up. And you see Oscar Duarte crack him and hurt him and buckle his legs a couple times because he got back straight up to the ropes instead of going left or right. And then when he got to the ropes, he got trapped there too, and he ends up getting cracked multiple times. And last thing I'm going to talk about with Kenneth Sims is he struggles to keep fighters off of him. You know, not only can he not really go left or right against a lot of pressure and he stays on the ropes, is that, you know, if he wanted to fight somebody off, he tried to fight Oscar Duarte off him, and it just wasn't really working. Kenneth Sims, he's got good hand speed. When he puts his combinations together, it looks good. He's got a good over top counters. He's got a good jab, but it just, he struggles to follow that up with defense. And then also with his defense, his punching power is just not there. He's got 22 wins with 8 knockouts. You know, clearly he's not the biggest power puncher in the world. So he just struggles to fight guys off of him, and that's what he needed to do to win against Oscar Duarte. And you know, we saw that he just struggled to fight in the pocket with Oscar Duarte. I don't think Arnold Barboza has that same pressure as Oscar Duarte does, but I think Arnold Barboza will try to, you know, emulate that, because if us, the fans, are seeing that, I know these guys that are in the training camp, these professional fighters, you know, I think they see it too when they're watching these highlights, you know, watching these fights back, studying their opponents. I think they see that Kenneth Sims, you know, struggles to keep guys off of him, so I'd be looking forward to that, you know, coming on and leading on to this fight. Keys to victory for both guys. First things first with Kenneth Sims. I need you to step around, and not only step around, you know, I need you to go left, right, but on top of that, I need level changes too. I need you to step around and show him different levels. Feint to that body. Go back upstairs. Bring it down to the body, left hand, and then change that level, uppercut, uppercut. This is what I need, the level changes while stepping left to right. I think you could freeze up Arnold Barboza and open up straight hands down the pipe if you freeze him up with level changes and stepping left to right. And especially if you could step to the left and then drop that bomb as you change your level, you know, I don't think you're the biggest power puncher in the world, but when a punch lane clean, a punch lane clean. Start and finish with the jab. That's the last thing I'm going to tell you for your keys to victory. Start and finish with the jab. It's kind of amateurish, but, you know, if you're struggling to bring your power with you, you know, to fight guys off, Arnold Barboza struggles with straight hands a lot. So if you're starting with the better jab than Arnold Barboza, and then you could put a combination together, maybe let's just say you throw a 1-2-1, boom, boom, boom. You let's say you tag him with the jab, he pulls back on the straight, and then he's not expecting a jab at the end. You know, you don't gotta always start and finish, but I think most of the time you should start and finish with the jab, maybe jab down the pipe, straight hand behind it, and then finish it off with an up jab. These are the stuff, swivel jab, mix it up, but make sure you finishing and starting with that jab. Arnold Barboza, your key to victory, the most important one against a boxer like Kenneth Sims, you're going to have to cut off that ring and give him that pressure. That's my second key to victory, pressure. So cut off that ring and give him that pressure. And how can you pressure him? I need that pesky jab of yours. I need those body shots. I need those left hooks. I think that's the most important punch for Arnold Barboza coming into this fight. Look for him to make a little pivotal step to the left. Just bring his foot out a little bit wider to the left, widen out his stance subtly so Kenneth Sims can't see it, and then drop a looping left hook. And I think that could be good night if that happens. I see different ways for both fighters, but you're gonna have to keep watching to see who I'm pick. But yeah, those are my keys to victory for Arnold Barboza. Cut that ring off, give him that pressure, frustrate him with that pressure, put some flurries on him, finish him off with the left hook. Who am I going with? It's decision time, decision time, decision time, decision time. Arnold Barboza, Kenneth Sims. I think this is going to be a grudge match. A lot what we saw in Navarrete versus Nunez. But I think I'm going to see Kenneth Sims pulling out with the victory. Unanimous decision. Maybe split decision. Could be split decision. But I'm picking a unanimous decision. Also, I could see this fight ending up in a draw. I got a weird feeling about this fight. I think this one of those fights, we could see a controversial draw, kind of like Frank Martin versus Nihiro Albright. Both sides saying, no, my guy won, no, my guy won. But a draw might be the right decision at the end of the day. I don't know, I got a weird feeling. Something funny telling me a draw, but when it comes down to it, I got to put my money on it. I'm picking Kenneth Sims by decision to beat Arnold Barboza. I don't think he's going to have enough pressure like Oscar Duarte had. I don't think he has enough power like Oscar Duarte had. He made Kenneth Sims respect him a lot Kenneth Sims was getting cracked. Shout out to Kenneth Sims' chin for surviving that Oscar Duarte, when he was giving him all that pressure. I don't think Arnold Barboza has that. I think Arnold Barboza might be the better fighter than Oscar Duarte. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's pretty clear as day. But I think this, when styles come down to it, I think Kenneth Sims got that style to beat him. I think Kenneth Sims is more technically better than Oscar Duarte and Arnold Barboza. But I think Oscar Duarte had that style, and I don't think Arnold Barboza has that style. And I just think Kenneth Sims is also better. So yeah, man, that's who I'm picking. Kenneth Sims Jr. by decision. I think the jab is going to tag up and bruise up Arnold Barboza's face. I think this could be. It's got potential to be a grudge match. I'll tell you that now. It's got potential for Kenneth Sims to have to tap in, bite down, and fight him off while Arnold Barboza is trying to take his head off. But there is potential that Kenneth Sims just takes his fight and walks away with it. I believe Kenneth Sims is the favorite on betting odds. So take that as you will. Go look yourself. But yeah, man. Nonetheless, Kenneth Sims, looking forward to this W for you this weekend. Looking forward to what's next for Arnold Barboza. Kenneth Sims, looking forward to whatever is next on this channel. Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Much love. Peace.